Hello, my friends. Like most human beings, I've messed up quite a bit in my life. There were things that I thought I knew and then learned and then realized that I wanted to change the way that I was doing things. So today we're gonna be talking about my makeup and skincare mistakes that I have made over the years and what I have done to correct those mistakes. So if that sounds interesting to you, maybe we can kind of commiserate together. Hang tight. We're getting into it right now. Before we get started with all of my skincare and makeup mistakes that I have made over the years to see whether you're making some of them, whether you've made some of them in the past, this video is sponsored by Bloomscape, and they have helped me so much in figuring out how to take care of plants in my house. I don't know what the opposite of a green thumb is, but I have that. I am terrible at taking care of houseplants, and Bloomscape contacted me and asked me if I wanted to do a sponsored video with them, and I was like, I don't even know, I'm not sure, I'm not really good at taking care of houseplants, and they were like, don't worry about it, we've got you. And it has been such a wonderful experience that I agreed to the sponsored video, and I am now sharing that with you. If you've never heard of Bloomscape, they deliver fully grown houseplants to your house. You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to do anything, you just pick them out on their website and they ship them to you, already ready to go, which is amazing. I didn't even know something like that existed. I chose the Parlor Palm and the Bamboo Palm, and a big reason why I chose those is because they are pet friendly, and I have seen Haley, my little dog, nibbling a little bit on one of the plants, and I'm very thankful that it is pet friendly. I don't want her to do that, but if she does nibble on it, I know that it's not going to harm her. The experience of getting Bloomscape was wonderful. The only thing that I would say be careful of is when you do open them up, there is loose dirt in there. So even though they try really hard to keep it all contained, some of the dirt did get on my hardwood floor. So don't open it up over a carpet. But other than that, it was fabulous. They came looking beautiful. It was very easy to set up. I put one on in my entryway and I put one in the corner of my living room, and they look absolutely gorgeous. They just add life to the space. And I love that they have so many choices, from small plants all the way up to very large. I think their largest plant is like 5 feet tall. They also give you this little direction card on how to take care of your plants, which I found very, very helpful. It turns out mine need to be spritzed with water, so I just bought this simple spray bottle off of Amazon because they didn't have any spray bottles around that I could repurpose. But I just spray them every day. I just go around and spray them, and then I touch the soil to see if it's still wet. And if it's dry, I put some water in it. If it's still wet, I move to the next day. And they're so easy to take care of, and I can't believe they're still alive. I'm doing it, and I thank Bloomscapes for that. I do have a discount code. It is jenluvsreviews10. If you click the link in the video description, it will give you $10 off of your first order from Bloomscape. So thank you so much to Bloomscape for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you so much. And now let's go ahead and go into my skincare and makeup mistakes that I have made. Oh, there are a lot of them. Let's start with skincare mistakes. So many of them. The first one was when I was in college, I often slept with makeup on, and if I didn't sleep with makeup on, I was only removing with a makeup wipe. I think a lot of us have been there. I was there longer than probably I should have been. Of course, we all know we should be washing our face before going to bed, but some people have asked me recently why makeup wipes are bad. Number one, it just creates more waste for the environment. And number two, sometimes people throw the wipes down the toilet and flush them, and that is really, really, really bad for sewer systems, pipes, and also the environment. And then also just for your skin, makeup wipes, their job is to dissolve and remove makeup. It doesn't make your skin clean. You're putting all of these things on your face that could potentially have fragrance, other sensitizing ingredients, things that you could get sensitized to over time. So it's just a really good idea, if you do continue to use makeup wipes, to make sure you're using a second cleanse and washing that makeup wipe off. Another thing I used to do as a teenager and young adult in the 90s was using tanning beds and not using SPF. I think until I was in my early 30s, I pretty much only used SPF when I was getting my base tan. So that was like an SPF 6. It was very bad. I do not recommend. That was just the times we were living in. We didn't even know about UVA rays until I think the 90s. So tanning beds were a thing, and the reason reason why, if you are not familiar with this, is because tanning is seen, at least in my circle, in my family, as a representation of luxury, of having free time to be able to go out into the sun and get a tan. So in high school, it was expected to come back to school with a tan. If you didn't, then what the hell did you do all summer? We were the family that would put baby oil on and then lay out in the sun. And I am very scared for my older age in that I am making sure to get skin cancer checks and things like that to make sure, because I really didn't take good care of my skin. Now I am using SPF regularly. I put it on every morning. I have to admit, I'm still not great at reapplication, but I am working on it. I do try to make sure if I'm going to be outside that I reapply. I'm just letting you know I don't usually reapply throughout the day if I'm not going outside. But I know that's something that I can still work on getting better at, because I do realize that even sun coming in through the windows can cause skin damage. We did stuff that we never thought we would. This one isn't really a mistake, but it's something I wish I had never bought into, and that's using too many steps in my skincare routine. I was doing like the 10-step K-beauty routine with all of the stuff and stuff. Right now, I feel like it's not really necessary. If you enjoy a 10-step skincare routine and you're not having any irritation, you do what makes you happy. I found that I was not enjoying doing that many steps. It took way too long. It was not fun for me. So I have now cut down my routine to very few steps. I do an oil-based cleanser, I do a regular cream cleanser, then I do a serum and a moisturizer, and that is it. That's all that I've done. And I kind of switch up my serums and my moisturizers and kind of play around with different things. I don't necessarily stick with the same routine unless I'm testing something for a video. And then my serum usually has either retinol or AHAs in it to help with trying to keep my collagen and my elastin pumping. I also really love using moisturizers with peptides in them for the exact same reason. Again, you have to decide what's best for you and your skin. That is the routine that works for me. I don't need 10 products. It's expensive and it takes too long. You call it what you want. Yeah, you call it what you want. Another thing I used to do is I used to pop my pimples. I used to have so much fun popping my pimples. Are you a pimple popper? I used to love doing that. And yeah, that was probably not a good idea. And I actually looked up and read why it's not a good idea. And it's because when they do extractions at a dermatologist or at an esthetician's office, they use the tool and they pull it downward. And what I used to do, which is what I imagine a lot of people do, is squeezing from the sides. And like, there's a satisfyingness thing to it. I can't watch other people do it, but I did enjoy it myself. But that's not a good idea because it can cause scarring and it's not good for your skin. What I wish I had done instead was finding spot treatments. There are so many really good spot treatments out there. I will link some down below that have really good reviews. I don't get very much acne anymore, so I can't speak to them from personal experience, but based on the ingredients and based on the reviews, I will leave some recommendations down below. Let's call it what we want. Yeah, we call it what we want. And the last one is not taking care of the skin on my chest here. And you can probably see, I always see it when I'm editing. I can never really see it when I'm filming, but you can see here that this part down here is aging much faster than here up because I always stopped my skincare here. I mean, I do have my wrinkles on my neck here, but you can see all the discoloration down here and how this is starting to get more wrinkly. And that's because I just haven't taken care of this part of my skin. So I wish that I could go back when I really started using a good skincare routine. I wish I could go back and really make sure that I took care of this area. So that is something I can't fix, but maybe it's something I can pass on to you that you can do better if you're not already doing it. Like Carolyn Hiron says, you got to take it to the tits. Now let's go into my makeup mistakes, and some of these were just trends and some of them were just me not knowing what I was doing. So the first one was kind of a trend and it was lower black eyeliner. I was all about the lower black eyeliner. Nothing on the top, oh no. Like maybe a little bit of mascara, maybe some clear mascara, but just straight black from here to here. And what that did for my eyes was it made my eyes look a lot smaller. And even as I got older, I was putting dark all the way across and then putting dark all the way up here, and it just wasn't flattering on me. I thought it was at the time. Maybe it was because of the trends. I don't know who I should blame, but that was what I thought looked good at the time. And looking back at pictures, it's like, oh gosh, that was not a good choice. That was a bad choice. Another thing I used to do, and I actually had a subscriber call me out on this, and I was actually quite thankful because I learned from it, was doing my contour too low. So what I used to do was I would suck my cheeks in like this. And I would contour like this. And what it made it look like was I had a 5 o'clock shadow, which wasn't the look I was going for. Just like here. Oh my gosh, I have a big hair loop right here. How did that happen? Come on, man. How long has that been there? Why didn't you tell me? So what I learned through people that know more than I do was putting the brush up here at the top of the ear and then going toward the corner of the mouth, and that really helped me to do better. And now I've even been angling it just a little bit higher, and I like that so much better than going like way down here. That was not cute. Let me know if you were guilty of this one. Pumping mascara. Did you do this? When you take your mascara, and I'm not gonna do it with this one, but when you go like this and just to get all the product on there. Okay, the reason why I learned you don't do that is because it gets air into the mascara, it dries it out faster. So bad idea to pump your mascara, but I did do that for the longest time, really until I got on YouTube, started making makeup videos. So really glad I don't do that anymore. I was wondering why I was going through mascara so quickly. It's because I was pumping a ton of air inside. Another thing I used to do that I stopped doing when I was traveling around the country and collabing with different people, I collabed with Bailey Sarian, I collabed with Leisha from X Sparkage, I collabed with Risa from Risa Does Makeup, and all three of them helped me with makeup tips, helped me to learn more about makeup application, and it was fabulous. They're just all amazing, amazing women. So one thing that I was doing back then was I was taking my darker color eyeshadow and bringing it down to low. So my darker color on the outer corner would go all the way down here. I would bring my wing and my wing would cut across it. And what that does is just brings the whole eye down. And one thing that Bailey taught me was that instead of going down like a windshield wiper, you go across. And then that way you're not dragging your whole eye down. So that was really interesting. And I've been doing that ever since. And I will forever credit her for that because I never would have done that without her teaching me that. And the last one is something that I used to do that I am quite embarrassed of, but it kind of goes along with the self-tanning thing, is that I would always use bronzer or I would use foundation that was just 1 or 2 shades too dark. And I would have neck face. Like I would bring it to here and I didn't blend it. And I did that on purpose because I thought it looked good. I know. I don't know why. You know, I do know why that looked good. Okay, so this is the story. So I went to the mall with my mom when I was a kid. And I guess I wasn't a kid. I was probably like maybe 13, 14. And we went up to this place that sold cookies. I forget which one. I don't remember. But I remember there was a teenager there working. And she had her foundation like that. And I went, wow, that looks so good. She looks so tan and so beautiful. And I want to look like that. So I started doing my foundation like that, where I purposely didn't blend down my neck because I thought it looked good. And it was too dark. I'm not talking about like really dark. I'm talking about like 1 or 2 shades so that I would look like I was more tan, and it was purposeful. So that was a bad idea. I'm really glad I stopped doing that. And I'm sure it looked awful. I'm sure there were people laughing at me and I had absolutely no idea. And with bronzer, I would often use bronzer instead of blush, which there's nothing wrong with, but I would drape it over my nose and I used way too much and just concentrated it here. And it was weird. It was weird. It was a bad choice. I regret it. Really glad I don't do it anymore. At this point, my friend, it is your turn. In the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, tell me your makeup and skincare mistakes. What did you do in the past that you wish you had done differently? What are some things that you've learned over the years on skincare and makeup? I would love to hear your experiences. Maybe there are some of them that I still do that you've learned are a mistake and I can learn from you. And we can all learn from you. Once again, thank you so much to Bloomscape for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you so much. Discount code will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a video for you right down there to watch. But if it is your time to go, it is no problem at all. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you did. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!